Okay. Want to go now. Bruce Mufson, LCSW, Sunridge, Nevada, with another Mac Miller breakdown. Was going through the album that they found, so to speak, Lunarism. And this is song Ms. Deborah Downer. And you notice right off the bat, the guy's brilliant. He's a great loss, everything including. But right off the bat, Miss Deborah Downer, like that drug reference and that downward mood. And you notice that he continues to pull you in the mood that he wants you to feel by how he starts off the music and the background. There's no one better than him than doing that and creating mood. So as always, I'm going to break it down by the clinical aspects that I think are the most interesting and just go forward from there. Okay, here we go. From verse 1, and this is something I've noticed as, the songs go on. It's kind of like the arc of the four that I've done with this, in the next several. It goes, found my body somewhere in the sewer. It's always negative. It's always that self-talk negative. He's talking about himself. I feel negative about myself and who I am and who I want to be. You'd think the opposite, but you realize just how much stress he was under, how much depression he was under, and how he's kind of trying to find himself. And it comes out in his music very, very well. He throws this down also. I thought this was interesting. My best friend packed his things, threw him in the car. I haven't seen him since. And it goes, guess I understand he always got the chills when he saw a room full of rolled up bills, $100 bills. My best friend packed his things, and he threw them in the car. Nothing about my best friend came back. We went out, had a couple of beers. We went out, caught a baseball game. We went out and took a walk. We went out, went fishing, something. My best friend left. And nothing replacing that. There's an emptiness that he's talking about. And it's interesting how from the verse 1, it's found my body and my best friend packed his things and threw them in the car and basically took off. No talk about having any kind of real friends, best friends, someone to replace, a circle of friends. They're saying statistically now you need to have 5 best friends or 5 really close friends as you get older, people that you can talk to and spend time with. Then it goes further in the refrain. Can you sit right next to me and crush them down, crush them down? I need someone. Can you please sit down next to me and crush them down? Because I don't have anybody. I'm alone. I need someone to be with me when I'm using my drugs. I just don't have anyone anymore. It's a constant theme for him because he goes a little further, but my past, I thought it would last longer, that the ride would continue. We all say that. Everyone says that. Oh, it's going to last. It's going to last. It's going to last. But eventually it comes to an end. And who do you have in your life? Who's there for you? Who you're close to? Who can you consider to be a great friend? Then you go to the bridge and you go to verse 2. And interesting again here, there's a line where he says, clean myself up. Now would you be my friend? Do I need to know the beginning to see the end? Do I have something to offer? It's not just physical, it's also referring to mental. Clean myself. Now would you be my friend? If I get off the drugs, do you want to hang around me? If I just give you who I really am, my essence, do you want to be around me? And that's kind of the thing with the masks that we all have in life. We all have to have like this role. Oh, I'm this, I'm this, I'm this, when you're not anything like that. But you need to sell that role to make yourself happy, to give yourself an appearance of stability, of coolness. I'm dangerous, I'm different. But do I need to know the beginning to see the end? Yeah, do I have to be honest with myself? It's so true because it goes like, what's the difference between the truth and things that we pretend? I lie awake faded, watch the days go by. Yeah, we think that we are the truth, but really it's not and it never was. We think that is the truth. And he's really struggling with that. Like, what is reality? What is fantasy? What's the truth? What's not the truth? What's the beginning? What's the end? Who am I? Because he's struggling with it. And because he's struggling, he does a great job with his fans of making them understand, hey, you're probably going through the same thing I am. And that's why even after his death of a number of years, he continues to be so popular because it's relatable. On the outro with Mac and Ashley all day, great line. What are you going to do? What you going to do when the money come in slow? This is said 10 times. 10 times he says this. Because reality hits that the party's now over. What do I do when I'm too old to be going out on stage and talking about getting wrecked? What do I talk about in the second act of my career? How do I keep my audience still interested in me? How do I get not regulated, to the discount rack or to the back of the stage? Do I still have music in me to bring people interested in me, that want to be around me, that want to listen to me? What do you do when the money coming slow? He says that 10 times because he was acutely aware of what his fame was. I don't think he realized he would have still been incredibly popular today, but at the time he was clearly feeling that. What's going to happen? A little further down it goes, and you let out on your own. There's no one coming for you. And in truth, no one has to be to pretend anymore to come around to you. Yeah, as long as you provide the drugs and money, the good times, the girls, we'll be your friend. Wink, wink, quotation marks. But it gets to the point, even that's not enough. We're not even interested in hanging around you. You truly are by your own. And that's when you get sober. You got your pile of drugs here. You got your pile of alcohol here. You got your money to throw around. But no one's showing up. Even that's not enough. You have to live with yourself and think about who you are as a person. And that's when it gets scary. Rip away the mask. Rip away who you think you have to be. And now it's just who you are. You're looking in that mirror. You realize, like, bye-bye to all your fake friends. Do you have any real friends? Probably not. Here it goes again. And you left out in the cold. Whoa. Can I get the 4 Norcos, the Oxys, the 2 Roxys, the 3 Methadones, a couple of Percocets, some heroin, 2 Xanny bars, and 6 ounces of that lean? Yeah. Stay high, stay high, stay high as you can. You don't have to deal with reality. Hopefully never. Stay in a fog. Because to wake up out of that fog, after you throw up, after you're nauseous, after you're completely dehydrated, after you're disoriented, is, whoa, reality? That sucks. I'd rather go back into my fog. That's what happens. That's what gets you into trouble. It's only when we accept the truth about ourselves that we finally begin to grow up and move forward and not be self-destructive. This is what I'm talking about here. Like, Mac is giving you a great understanding of himself, and he opens himself up. Don't live in the fantasy life. You got to live in reality. Accept that life can be hard. I'm going to be 62 in like a month and change. Life is hard, but it's a lot harder when you're not tethered to reality, when you're not in the sky. All these references to heaven, to high as you can fly, that's drug usage terms. That's drug usage talk, because you're afraid to deal with what's happening around you. You wake up and you look around and you say, who are my friends? Who am I? What do I belong to? What am I part of? What kind of community? There's 2 scenes. Well, The Sopranos was a great TV show, but there was 2 scenes, and there's hundreds of moments people can relate to, whatever. It's not important. But there's 2 scenes, in 2 different episodes, where Tony's wife says to him, the people that like laugh at everything you say, like you're some kind of comedic genius, it's only because they're afraid of you. And there's another scene from another episode where Christopher, his nephew, they all laugh at him when he's talking about the birth of his daughter. And they're making fun of him. And he realizes he's just a big joke to them. And there's a scene with Tony later in the episode where he says something like, and the sky is green today. And they all burst out laughing. And he realizes his wife is right. It's all a fantasy. They're not his friends. Only reason why they listen to him is because he provides money for them and he's scary. But there's no friendship. I think Mac, his whole life, was looking for some real friends, people he could rely on and trust. He didn't have any, and he kind of speaks about it in his music. To his credit, he's honest about that. That's why we want you to kind of join our service and understand this about yourself through the music and realize what you need to do to get out of that rut. How to find out who you are. And you don't have to use drugs, alcohol, fake friends, be something that you're not, because in the end, the party's over. He talks about that. What happens when the money's slow? When I can't feed all the parasites? And so many of us in life are around that. This is why we want you to join our program. The details are there, $75 a month. I'm accessible. There's no middleman. There's no denial company, no denial firm, how much you're going to get, how much you're not. You pay the price, you get me. I am consistency. That's it. But think about this song. It's powerful on a lot of different levels. Bruce Mufson, LCSW, Sunridge, Nevada.